about having an ADHD nervous system. Every right. And you also really should be grateful because this world needs you now more than ever. ADHD is not a disorder. ADHD is just a genetic misfit. It is a neurological type that is not very well adapted to the modern world. The modern world did not create space for us, but that's okay because we are meant to help to be the bridge to something new, because the world that we are in now is in its death throes. It is taking its last dying breaths. And as we enter into the darkness of death, perfectly timed with not this New Year, New Me, Gregorian calendar BS. I'm talking about the end of the Chinese year of the snake, where all of our layers, all of our old skin gets peeled away. I'm talking about the entry into the year of the fire horse, where giddy up, y'all, because it's going to be a ride. I'm talking about the transition that we are experiencing as humanity. And your ADHD nervous system is perfectly designed to be a bridge at this time. Because what's to come is going to be uncomfortable for a lot of people. What's to come is going to be chaotic and challenging. What is to come? I don't know. I can't tell you. But our ADHD nervous systems, these nervous systems are designed for resilience. They are designed for adaptation. They are designed to see and recognize what doesn't work. And when we choose to celebrate our bodies, honor the needs of our nervous system, gift ourselves an environment that supports us, then while most other people are going to be panicking, whether it's financial challenges, politics, geopolitics, whether it's cultural and religious clashes, whether it's aliens coming down from the sky, I don't know. But you and I are well designed to not only thrive in this time of uncertainty, but to be the leaders, the ones who say, hey, we're going into a whole new earth and you are welcome to come with us. So if you have any feeling in your mind or your body that ADHD is a curse, or that you need to change yourself or medicate yourself, if you have any sense of that whatsoever, I need you to take a moment right now of that belief, because you chose to be here at this time to help usher in a new era. I am currently being called forth by my reality, by my higher self, by spirit, by creator, by whatever you want to call it. And I have been studying for years now on how to best transform, to die, to let go. And it's only recently that I found out that I have an ADHD nervous system. And my God, I have experienced grief and pain and frustration and anger. So much so, last night I actually had a conversation with my mother for her birthday. Happy birthday, Mom. And I had some conversations where I just needed to ask, like, why did you do certain things? Because you didn't know that I had an ADHD nervous system. So, like, why couldn't you listen to the fact that I wasn't comfortable or I wasn't happy doing certain things? Like, I didn't fit in. But then I realized that my mom also has an ADHD nervous system. It's just she's been masking and hiding even harder than I was. And so I got an opportunity last night to have a conversation with my mom and explain to her, like, that was fucking rough being a child undiagnosed with ADHD, going 40 years of my life without knowing that my nervous system works differently. And I see you. I see that you've been dealing with your own version of that, and you're in your 70s. But look, we don't fit in. We are genetic misfits, and that is by your soul's design. I was listening to an interview on a podcast the other day, and they were discussing how there's a theory, and it is the one that makes the most sense for me, that this reality, this world, even agriculture, modern technology, everything in the last thousands of years has been evolving so fast, but our genes have not been able to keep up. And so we, those of us that have this neurodivergent nervous system, which I don't think that we're diverging from the normal. I actually believe that our nervous systems have always been around, and then humanity diverged and built itself around the what we call the neurotypical, what is now considered normal, and society built itself around that because it was easier to control. And then here we have these now misfits. We've always been around. We never were gone. We just got locked up. We got medicated, put in prison, put in psych wards, called disordered, called misfits. In other cultures, they were called shamans and healers and weirdos and scouts and hunters, and like we had a place. But in this society, we don't. And so by recognizing or by diagnosing, self-diagnosing or whatever, and no, I'm not in an Afghan military base. I'm in Dahab on the Sinai Peninsula in Egypt. It just happens to look, yeah, like the Middle East. So the thing is that we have this nervous system, which is an ancient tribal nervous system. It is a nervous system that is well adapted to, like the Bedouin people here in the Sinai Peninsula, living out in the desert, living out in the mountains, right? I just learned the other day that people are uh, during a certain time of the year when the fish come out, and they literally just like just overload into the land because the sea rises and there's so many fish. The Bedouin people come out and they harvest all the fish and they dry it and they keep that food for the I don't know how many seasons, but like these are adaptations, and this is more like what you and I, our ADHD nervous system is like, is that we have adaptations for a world that required us to live in the mountains, to hike in the jungle, to fish, to hunt, to adapt. And in this world where we have been taught to sit in front of desks, and we have been taught to, hustle and chase and grind and go make that money and go stack that cheese, like that doesn't really work with our nervous system. And paradoxically, people with ADHD have the highest likelihood of being entrepreneurs. People who have an ADHD nervous system are 3 to 6 times more likely to be an entrepreneur because you can see things that don't work and you want to find a solution, right? So if you're not grateful that you have an ADHD nervous system, then you have not been willing to fully see and understand yourself yet. And I highly recommend you to go out there and start asking questions. I'd be curious if anybody here has actually been diagnosed or is suspecting diagnosis but hasn't gone through the process yet, because I only got diagnosed a month ago, and I've been going through this whole process of letting go of my old self, right? I can't work and live the way that I used to. It just doesn't work anymore. And that's okay, but it requires me to die and to be reborn. Look, the process of evolution, the process of conscious evolution is not easy, and it is the most beautiful process that exists. We have the opportunity to recognize that inside our very DNA, we carry both our limitations and our infinite potential. And it is up to us to embrace what DNA we inherited, to embrace the nervous system that we came into this world with. Last night, I had a beautiful healing conversation with my mom where I got to understand that she's been going through the same shit that I have, just different because she's in her 70s, and her whole life she was extra, extra, extra masking because she just didn't fit in. But thankfully, I have the knowledge, the research, the studies, the people on the internet who are going out there and saying, hey, like ADHD is actually pretty dope if you know how to use it right, if you know how to be in the right environment, if you know how to create the life that you actually will benefit from. And so for the next 30 days, this is really the process that I'm going to be going through. I'm going to be documenting as much as I can the process of me just letting go of all of the old versions of myself and truly stepping into embracing and embodying what it is to be the most self loving, effective as I can be ADHD version of myself. And so I'm going to do my best to share this journey with you along the way because you're a misfit, I'm a misfit, and it's time to celebrate that. Now, what I'd love to do for you is, for those of you that are here and those of you that will be tuning in, is I'd love me for a couple of minutes while we do just a short little rapid hypnosis and visualization. And let's go ahead and do that right now. So, whether you're tuning in now or you're watching this later, it'd be really nice if you can grab a seat and take 3 deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose and out through the mouth. And I swear, if you're up late scrolling somewhere in the United States, just take a deep breath with me right now. And now I want you to take with this next exhale, just close your eyes if you can safely. And I want you to start to scan through your body. And then with each body part that I mentioned, I want you to just allow it to release and soften just a little bit more. So starting with the crown of your head, with your eyes and the muscles around your eyes. And even if you're driving or moving or doing something, you can still tune into these spaces, the cheeks, the jawbone, the back of the neck, the throat, and just loosen and relax the shoulders, the upper chest, the upper back. Start to feel that energy flow down the arms as you relax all parts of your body, the belly, the lower back, the hips, into your genitals, and all the way down through your thighs, knees, calves, and toes. Now, what you can do is just imagine that your eyelids have become so heavy that you cannot open them. And just pretend. Your power of imagination, the ability to pretend, is actually the most powerful gift that you have. So just pretend like your eyes cannot open, like they're so heavy. It'd be like trying to move a boulder that's covering the entrance of a cave. And I want you to just try to open your eyes and smile when you realize that you can't. Now, stop trying because you won't be able to open your eyes anyways. And I want you to imagine that you are standing at your favorite, most relaxing, beautiful place. And I don't care if that's in nature, but it probably is. Maybe it's a deck chair on your balcony. Maybe it's a sun chair in a sunroom. Whatever it is, I want you to be there, and I want you to take a deep breath in and exhale one more time through the mouth, feeling your body sink a little bit deeper. Good. Now, I want you to see that as you look to your left with your eyes closed, but as you look to your left, you notice that there's a slightly younger version of you. And then just beyond that is another younger version of you until you see all the way down that line, looking down the left, that there's every version of you that has existed in this human body, all the way back to when you were born. Itty bitty tiny little baby coming out. And I want you to notice that as you look to your right, there is a version of you who's slightly older. And then as you look further to the right, there's every single version of you yet to come that has yet to be embodied at this time. And now I want you to come back and then just imagine yourself turning to your left. And I want you to look at all of those younger versions of yourself. And in your mind's eye, I want you to just say to them, I am so grateful for you. I'm grateful for every step that you took. I'm grateful for every tear that you shed. I'm grateful for every pain that you felt. I'm grateful for every laugh that you laughed. Look at all of those versions of yourself and just ask yourself, do any specific times stand out that need my attention? And as you do this, notice if a younger version of yourself waves or nods or just steps out or throws a rock or something at you to get your attention. So, for example, right now I'm seeing like a 5-year-old version of myself, and I'm seeing like a 17-year-old version of myself. And so I want you to just take a moment and have a brief conversation with these versions of you. Start by simply asking them, hey, what do you need right now? And allow them to speak to you. What do you need right now? Maybe they need attention. Maybe they need a hug. Maybe they need to be heard. Maybe they need you to just smile and say, I love you. But what was that younger version of you absolutely aching for, craving for, but didn't get from his or her parents, his or her community, his or her teachers? And I want you to just tell them, I see you, I hear you, I feel you. And I want you to know that I am here now and I will do my absolute best to take care and support you. Take a note of what it is that they informed you of. And I want you to imagine all versions of your younger self collapsing into that version that was just maybe right next to you. And I want you to imagine turning to them, hugging them, and saying, I love you. Thank you. Please forgive me. Forgive me for the times that I didn't know what you needed. Forgive me for the times when I didn't know how to care for you. Imagine hugging them, and you can even hug your body, because hugging and squeezing yourself is going to drop you deep into a trance-like state. And then relax your arms, and I want you to look to the right. And I want you to see all future versions of yourself, whatever that might look like in your mind's eye. And then I want you to ask one version to step forward. Whatever that version is, they might have longer hair, a different hairstyle, a type of clothing that you wish you had the bravery to and the courage to put on. But that version who's more empowered, more embodied, more excited about being their unique, weird self steps out and looks at you. And that version says to you, I have a message for you. And you smile and you nod as you choose to listen. And I want you to take a moment as you allow that version of you to speak. Just allow the words to flow from their mouth without thinking. What piece of advice, what guidance does this version need to provide for you right now? Mine has a sense of humor. Smile as they provide you exactly what you need to know. Communicating from the quantum reality, the multidimensional perspective that your soul has access to, and that this body is learning how to connect with. Because you are God in the infinite. You are all creation. You are all atomic fields, matter, subatomic matter, everything that is coming together. You are a holograph, one aspect of infinite creation, and you can receive clarity from your unconscious mind through things like hypnotherapy, trance states, meditation, freehand writing, journaling, even just opening your phone and dropping a voice note and just letting yourself talk while you go for a walk. And so see this version of yourself step back into the line. See all future versions of yourself collapse into the version that's just to the right of you. And go ahead and grab them, hug yourself, hug that version of you, and say, thank you. Thank you for walking the path in front of me. Thank you for having the courage to do what I fear. Thank you for having the courage to say what I fear to say. Thank you for showing me that there is a better way. Now we're going to wrap up this short little visualization with 3 deep breaths. Imagine, or just take physically your arms to the left and right. Take that energy that you can feel building in your hands and bring it to your center. Bring your past and your future into this now moment, into your heart center. Bring your hands in front of your chest. Take a nice deep breath in. Feel those two hands coming together in a fist or in a prayer hands. Feel that energy collapsing into this one now moment. And with this next deep breath, breathe it into your chest as you choose to embody all aspects of yourself and to celebrate your beauty as an individual, unique human. Before you open your eyes, I want you to feel your heart. Know that your heart is your guide, your heart is your truth, and when you can sync your mind and your heart together, then all of your actions and your decisions will be aligned with your highest truth and highest mission. And I know it's not always easy, but stick with me. We're getting there. I want you to take a nice deep breath and slowly open your eyes. As you exhale, feeling yourself revitalized, feeling yourself more peaceful. If you're just catching the last little bit of this, I would love for you to come back and do that hypnosis, that short little visualization with me on the recording. And I want you to know that your ADHD is a tremendous gift. Your ADHD is a beautiful thing. And yeah. Oh, cool. I love this comment. Listen to me, though, because having this identity of spiritual with ADHD feeds your ego. Cool. That sounds fun. Let's be very clear about something. To be spiritual is a stupid term because everything is spiritual. Everything is spirit. Everything is energy. So to say that I am spiritual, I don't think that I said that I'm spiritual. I think that you're interpreting the speech, the visualizations, the energy that I'm transmitting as what you perceive to be a spiritual person or a spiritual influencer. But that is a limited view and a limited perspective because everything is spirit. All of creation is spirit. And if you do not look at this reality with the absolute jaw-dropping wonder of the beauty that this reality contains, the minute, microscopic, invisible complexity to the macroscopic, visible complexity and beyond. If you do not see that and recognize that all religions, all energies, all traditions have always been pointing to the same thing, which is that we are all one, we are all together in creation, and that this is the weirdest, wildest experience that you could possibly have, being alive and embodied, which is spirit in physical, the matter that is an extension and an expression of the mind, of God. So if you want to label that spiritual and challenge me and say that that's going to feed my ego, go for it. I'll let you do that, but you might as well just unfollow this because it might not be the right place for you. So I'm going to leave it there. If you're tuning in right now and you didn't see it, there was a nice little short guided visualization hypnosis to help you to integrate past and future versions of yourself so that you can start to take the action that you need to take right now here to celebrate and honor your nervous system. If you're just tuning in, please follow, subscribe, because there's a lot more to come here at the Mutant Academy. We are really just doing our best to learn what the hell does it mean to have this neurodivergent nervous system and how can we celebrate our position, our purpose in the awakening of human consciousness. So until next time, signing off. And thank you.